Secretary Benson, you have been serving the people of Michigan since 2019 as Secretary of State. What made you want to take the jump to run for governor, and why now?
Well, one of the things I've loved as Secretary of State, and I love my job, is getting to meet people where they are and make their lives a little bit easier through operating one of our largest state agencies and one of the most efficient state agencies in the country. When I took office, there were 7 hour, 5 hour wait times. Even in northern parts of the state, in times of the year, there would be long lines out the door in our Traverse City office and elsewhere, and just overall inefficient services. And so we were able to completely transform that. We actually now have mobile offices as well, one just dedicated to Northern Michigan and one just dedicated, a separate one, just dedicated to the Upper Peninsula. So through doing that, I've seen firsthand how important it is for government to work well for everyone and simply save folks time, save you a little money, make your day a little easier. And I want all of government to work that well, not just on the policymaking side, but on the agency side as well. It does no good to increase unemployment benefits or have childcare subsidies for families if you can't access them because there's so much red tape to work through. So I want to completely redo that, increase the efficiency of government while also making sure we're investing in people and developing an economic agenda for the state that puts people first.
And everyone who lives in Michigan knows how wonderful this state is, but there's, of course, always room for growth and improvement. So, what would your top priorities be?
My predecessor, Candace Miller, once said famously that the biggest room is the room for improvement. That's been a theme of our work at the Secretary of State's office, and it would be core to my work as governor. I think, essentially our state is at its best when its people are thriving and prosperous. And as a mom and as the wife of a veteran, I've seen also how important it is that our kids are safe in their schools and also getting a truly quality education in public schools so that whatever they choose to go into, they can thrive. So first is taking our K through 12 schools from being ranked at the bottom 10 in the country to being in the top 10. That's a personal importance to me as the daughter of two special education teachers and a former educator myself. But secondly, making sure when you're graduating high school, you can have access to well-paying jobs right away. So I want to create a state fund that would invest in apprenticeship programs so that any high school student could get on-the-job training in high school through apprenticeship programs that enable them to enter the workforce right away upon graduation. And for those who want to go to college, we want to make a 4 year or 2 year degree affordable for everyone and then ensure when you graduate into a knowledge-based economy, you can have access to multiple jobs in various sectors. Automotive is critical. That's who we are as a state. But I also want us to regenerate the film industry and have a thriving arts and film industry here in our state for folks to stay and work in, as well as explore climate tech and other innovative industries we can bring here to the state. And the last thing I'll add is, in addition to that, I want to create a year of service for any high school student who wants to take a year, get paid to do good for the state of Michigan. And upon completing that year of service, you'll get funds to either invest in college education, start a business, or start a nonprofit. So we have a vision to invest in the people of Michigan, to grow our economy and ensure everyone can prosper. And that, I believe, will make Michigan a magnet for talent all across the country.
And you are the first well known Democrat to launch your bid for governor, but we know that Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan is running as an independent, and State Senator Eric Nesbitt is also running as a Republican. So, what sets you apart from not only these candidates, but any future candidates as well?
Well, this is my fourth statewide campaign. And as someone who serves every resident in the state through our agency and makes sure that no matter whether you live in Houghton or Hillsdale or Traverse City or Grand Rapids or anywhere in between, that you can have access to good quality government services that are saving you time, saving you money, and helping ensure that you can prosper and thrive in our state. I know how to do that for everyone in our state. And I also know how important it is to value the uniqueness of our local communities, whether you're in Marquette, where I have family, whether you're in Traverse City, which is that sort of very special part of our state, or in Grand Rapids or downstate in Wyandotte. There are unique needs for every community that someone who has served statewide for a number of years, as I have, has a deep recognition and understanding of. So I'm proud to bring that experience, that knowledge, that heart, that grit and also that winning record. I've, won more counties than any other Democrat running statewide in 2022, won my race by 14 points, and I'm ready to win this one. But it's going to take a lot of work and building a truly broad coalition that includes Republicans, independents, and Democrats, all committed to just making sure government works well for everyone and that Michigan is the best place to be a kid, raise a kid, and call home.
And going off of that, you're running for governor in a state that Trump won in November with nearly 50% of the votes. How will you appeal to those voters?
Yeah, when someone comes into the Secretary of State offices, I don't ask them or even care about who they voted for. I just ask how I can help make their lives a little bit easier. How can we make sure we can transfer that auto title to a new owner, or make sure your kid gets their first license and that it's a good experience for them and for you? So my leadership style is making sure the government works for everyone, making sure voting works for everyone, that every voice is heard, and that we stand by those results no matter what those results may be. So my dedication to ethical, integrity, and driven and accountable government is, I think, not a partisan message. And I hope to win the support of all voters in our state through that dedication to ensuring everyone has a fair shot to make it in Michigan.
And we are still more than 600 days away from the November 2026 election. So we have plenty of time until then, but you obviously want to launch your campaign early. So at this point, what would you tell folks, not only just in our state, but specifically in Northern Michigan, why they should vote for you?
Because I want to make Michigan the best place in the country to be a kid, raise a kid, and call home. We already know in many places it is, but we also know that people in Michigan are hurting. In Traverse City and elsewhere, I've spoken with residents who simply want to be able to afford a home in the community where you live and afford to put food on the table. But too often our jobs aren't paying enough and the cost of living is far too high to be able to do just that. So my goal as governor will be to develop an economic agenda that will invest in every person in this state and their future, because that's our future. That's our ability to grow and prosper as well. And I look forward to helping everyone in the state meet their greatest potential, and including making sure we have the ability to simply just afford the life that we deserve here in our state, and investing in cost-saving initiatives that will save every resident time and money. And if you want to learn more about all of our policies and ideas thus far, you can go to jocelynbenson.com.
Thank you so much, Secretary Benson, for taking some time to talk with me about your campaign. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I'll see you again soon.